Tuesday, Wednesday.
It is funny how 106 feels so much different than 100, doesn't it?
It is different.
It really does, I know. All right, let's talk movies, and maybe you want to cool off. Film critic Josh Bell's here with the Bell Breakdown. It is Friday. We've got two movies to talk about.
Yes,
kind
we
of
do.
Two different kind of movies.
Very different kinds of movies,
The
yes.
first one, The Dark Phoenix. Now, this is the latest movie in the X-Men franchise.
Yes, it is.
Which I'm curious if you liked, because most of the time you usually say, it's what you expected.
I mean, I think this is probably that as well. I hoped for something a little better. I do like the X-Men movies. I don't know if you can see, I'm wearing the Phoenix on my shirt here, beautiful Megan Lara art, and I have a soft spot for these movies, the X-Men films. They're based on Marvel Comics, but it's, as we were talking about off the air, it's separate from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, because 20th Century Fox has had the rights to these characters. So it's been an uneven series, I guess we could say. I think there have been some really good X-Men movies, and there have been some not so good X-Men movies, and this one falls maybe somewhere in the middle. It's based on the Dark Phoenix saga, which is a very famous X-Men comic book story from the 80s about the character of Jean Grey, the Phoenix, who's played here by Sophie Turner from Game of Thrones. She was previously played by Famke Janssen in some other movies, but now we've got Sophie Turner. Because the timeline was reset, and that you don't want to hear about this.
No, I don't mind. Listen, everyone at home does.
It's very confusing.
It's a little over my head.
A couple movies ago, things were kind of played with the continuity, and so now we have younger versions of some of these other characters. So Sophie Turner is the Phoenix, and she's a telepath and a telekinetic, and she gets taken over by this sort of extraterrestrial force that taps into her dark side. So she's both the hero and the villain, in a way, of this movie. Jessica Chastain plays the actual villain, who's this kind of shape-shifting alien who comes to Earth and is corrupting Jean. You've got James McAvoy, Michael Fassbender, a lot of the actors who've been in the last few movies, and they are trying to sort of wrap things up, because with the Disney-Fox merger, this is the last X-Men movie in this series, I guess you could say, before they end up merging them and rebooting them. So there's a little bit of wrapping up of the characters. They try to explore some of the nuances of the emotions of the characters a little more, especially with Jean and her relationship with Professor X, played by James McAvoy. But I feel like this character just hasn't had the history, was just introduced in the last movie and didn't have a whole lot to do in that movie. And to build this whole film around her and her corruption just doesn't really work dramatically. The action is a little underwhelming. I think fans of the series will want to watch this just for completism's sake.
You have to see it.
And I'm glad that I did, because I am a fan of the series, but I think casual fans or superhero movie goers are probably going to be happy with skipping this one.
Okay, got it. Makes sense. A little bit, you might have to see it, but maybe
you don't have to. Nobody has to see anything.
Nobody has to see anything. But maybe you want to see The Secret Life of Pets too, because that sounds cute, right? No?
Yeah, it sounds cute.
It's not funny? It's not cute?
No, I mean, it's cute. The animals are cute. It's a sequel to The Secret Life of Pets from a couple years ago, which was basically...
And did you like that one?
It was acceptable. I mean, it's basically a ripoff of the Toy Story concept, where here it's people's pets and what do they do when the owners leave, and they have a whole secret underground world. It was kind of a fun concept. There was mischief. And the animation looks great. The animals are cute. They're very detailed. But this movie, like, they couldn't come up with a story for it, it seems like. It's got three kind of half-hearted subplots. Max, the little neurotic dog that you see there, he goes away to a farm and he's trying to protect the baby, the new baby in his family. There's Snowball the bunny, voiced by Kevin Hart, who decides he's going to become a superhero. None of it has any stakes. It doesn't teach anything of value to kids. It's not funny. It's just irritating. And I mean, if you're going to take your kids and you need to occupy them for 90 minutes, you could do worse. We've had some bad animated movies this year. This is better than the Ugly Dolls movie. It's better than Wonder Park, but that's really not saying
But you don't seem to like when animals talk. I noticed. That's kind of a pattern with you.
Animals talking if they don't annoy me. And I mean, the other thing about these movies, this movie in particular, is we get all these big celebrity voices. This time we've got Harrison Ford as this sheepdog who's teaching our main dog some life lessons. And none of these celebrities sound like they're putting any effort into this. So again, if you got little kids and you got to do something, you could do worse, but otherwise you can pass this by. Wait until we have Toy Story 4 in a few weeks.
Okay. Oh, it's a few weeks away,
A few weeks away.
Okay,
yes,
we'll talk about that, and hopefully you'll like it. Thanks, Josh. A good breakdown today. on Friday. We'll see you next weekend.
Sounds good.
Next Friday, I should say. Stay with us. We're back after this.